Hi everyone, my name is Rachel Kramer and I am a research librarian here at the MCC Library. This video is going to show you some of the most helpful library resources to help you write the 4 essays for this class. This is a long video, but please stick with me because I promise it's going to help you so much. Let's get started. We are on the MCC homepage, and if we scroll down about halfway, we see a quick link for the library. Click on that and we are taken to the MCC Library homepage. First, I want to point out these help options on the right side of the page. We librarians love helping students, and you can reach us by email, live chat, phone, or simply walking in and asking for help. You can also schedule an appointment in advance, either via Zoom or in person, whatever you are most comfortable with. All right, so from the homepage, I am going to click on this database quick links. And this is a page with the 13 most popular databases we have. And today we are going to look at 6 of them. An important thing to remember is that if you are using these resources from off campus, you will be prompted to log in. Just use the same username and password that you use for Brightspace and WebAdvisor. Okay, first up is CQ Researcher. CQ Researcher is great because once a week they publish a comprehensive, unbiased report on important social, political, economic, and legal issues. The reports are written by experienced journalists and present multiple sides of complex problems. The homepage has a featured report, recent reports, a list of upcoming reports, tweets, as well as a pretty long list of hot topics and ways to manage your personal account if you choose to create one. You can use this keyword search box to search by keyword, but honestly, the browsing options on this website are so great that I prefer to use those. So I am going to hover over Browse Topics, and let's take a look at Law and Justice. Here we have all the topics that fall under the theme of law and justice. We have a ton of civil rights topics as well, which could be very helpful for your first essay. Today, I'm going to click on civil rights and civil liberty issues. And here we have a list of all the related reports presented in chronological order, that is, the date they were published. I'm going to click on Voting Rights from June 25th, 2021. And this layout you see here is the layout that every single report follows. At the top, you have options to download the report, cite it, print it, email it to yourself, or save it. On the left, we have a table of contents listing all the different sections of the report. And on the right, we have a list of related reports and related topics. As we can see from the table of contents, this report is super in-depth, but it's also very easy to read, which I love. The pro-con debate sections and the chronology are some of the most helpful features of each report. All in all, CQ Researcher is a great resource for these essays, and both Professor Gladden and I highly recommend them. And that is CQ Researcher. All right, let's go back to the Database Quick Links page, and let's take a look at Films on Demand. If you are someone who learns better through watching video than reading, then I have great news. Films on Demand contains educational videos on all sorts of topics. You can view short clips from a video or the whole film. You can browse available videos, or you can use this search box at the top. I am going to type in discrimination, and I get about 4,000 results. So I can choose to view a short clip from a longer video, or I can click on the video title and watch this whole 45-minute film on discrimination from PBS if I choose. Okay, if I go back to my search results, I have more filtering options here at the top. All right, that is Films on Demand. Let's go back to that database quick links page. Next, we will look at Gale in Context Opposing Viewpoints. This database covers many similar topics as CQ Researcher, but in a slightly different format. The homepage always includes 3 featured issues, and beneath the featured issues are more reports divided into topic groups. To search, you can use this search box at the top of the page to do a keyword search, or you can click on this Browse Issues button. The reports are listed alphabetically, so I am going to scroll to the bottom, and again, I am going to click on Voting Laws. First up is the topic overview, right here. This topic overview is not as long as the CQ Researcher reports, but like CQ Researcher, it is easy to read and it is an unbiased introduction to the topic. Each report includes main ideas and critical thinking questions to guide your thoughts and guide your research. So that is the overview. But what's really neat is that beneath the overview, Gale presents all different types of information sources related to this topic. So basically, they do the research for you and present you with different options for sources. We have websites, statistics, magazines, news, videos, audio files, images, infographics, biographies, reference sources, primary historical sources, viewpoints, which are opinion pieces, and of course, academic articles. So that is Gale in Context Opposing Viewpoints. Let's go back to the database quick links page. Next, we come to Newsbank America's News, Texas. This is a database of Texas-only newspapers and other news sources. You can use this search box here at the top, or you can click on a specific paper or outlet that you would like to search. Some of the newspapers are only text-based, while others are image editions or PDFs, like this version of the Austin American Statesman. I'm going to click on that, and that will load in just a moment, and I'm going to pick September 3rd. All right, so as you can see, the newspaper appears as a PDF just as it looked in print. So up here at the top, you have lots of options. You can search inside this issue, either by page or by issue. You can get more information about it, cite it, email it to yourself. You can clip a portion, the whole page, or just a small section. You can print it, download it, save it, copy it, or even share it to a Google Classroom. So there are lots of options. Or you can do a keyword search to search all newspapers. So let's go back and back one more. So I'm going to use this search box at the top of the page to search for discrimination. So this page will show me a results preview. There are about 100,000 results, and that's way too many. So I can use these options on the left side of the page to narrow down the results. You can narrow by publication date, source type, year, source name, location, even the readability and the language. All right, so that is Newsbank, America's News, Texas. Just 2 more databases to look at. The next one is Proquest US News Stream. Clicking on the link will take us to the advanced search feature, but honestly, I prefer the basic search function. So to get there, we will just click on US Newsstream. This database contains some of the biggest newspapers from across the nation with archives dating back to the 1980s, 70s, and 60s. For this search, I am going to search legalized discrimination inside quotation marks so that I get results where this phrase occurs together as an exact phrase. So as you can see, the results do look very similar to Newsbank, America's News, Texas. We have a results preview here, and we have options on the left side of the page to limit our results by source type, publication date, and many others. If we click on the title of an article, we get the full text of the article, the entire thing, and we have related articles here on the right side of the page to help you with your research. And as always, we have options to save the article as a PDF, to download it, cite it, email it to yourself, and print it. And that is Proquest US Newsstream. One last database to go. The last database we're looking at is Westlaw. It is a legal database full of all kinds of legal information. You can browse all content, federal materials, state materials, or practice areas, or you can use this search box up at the top of the page. The default jurisdiction is all federal, so if you need to change that, just click on the words and the different jurisdictions will appear. But I'm going to leave it as federal. And I'm going to type in Brown v. Board of Education. You can also enter case numbers, keywords, something like abortion or the actual citation of a case. It has a lot of functionality for searching. Just like in other databases, I do get a results preview. Westlaw is a little different in that it divides the results by the type of results they are, so administrative decisions and guidance, regulations, statutes, and court rules, but I know I want cases. And I think the one I want is this second one right here, so I click on that. So here we have the full text of the Supreme Court ruling in Brown versus Board of Education. So having access to the full text of a Supreme Court case could be very helpful for your research, especially for the first essay. So there you have it, the entire text from top to bottom. And of course, we have options here at the top of the page to email the article or case, print it, download it, save it to Dropbox, or send it to a Kindle. We can also choose to hide our highlighted terms if that is distracting for you. So that is one option for using Westlaw. Or if we go back to the results page, we could always check out secondary sources. Secondary sources are articles and commentaries and opinions written by legal scholars about cases and about legislation. So here we have some legal scholarly articles about the impacts or the effects or the legacy of Brown v. Board of Education. If you need an analysis or an interpretation of a case, secondary sources are great sources for that type of material. And that is Westlaw. Let's go back to that database page, and we've seen them all. There is just one last tool I would like to show you. I'm going to go back to the library's homepage, and now we are going to take a look at Discovery Search. Discovery Search is not a database like all the other resources we just looked at. It's more of a search engine. We actually call it the library's version of Google because it searches almost all of our resources. With Discovery Search, you'll get results for print books, ebooks, articles in newspapers, magazines, and professional and trade journals, academic articles in peer-reviewed journals, reports, and much, much more. So I am going to type in history and discrimination. Because it's searching almost all of our resources, we will get a ton of results. Yep, we've got about 48,000. That's way too many results to look through, so I am going to use these options on the left side of the page to limit the results. For example, if I only want to see print books or ebooks, I will check the box next to Catalog Only, and my results will automatically update to only show print books and ebooks. So this is a regular book, and an ebook is accessible through the internet. If I want to access an ebook, I will click on the link, and then I have the option to read the book online or download the book. All right, back to results. If I only want print books, I will check the box next to print books only. And that will show you only physical books in print that we can get for you from the library shelves and that you can check out at the information desk on the main floor. All right, I'm going to uncheck these boxes one at a time. And we are back to our 48,000 results. Now, if you only want scholarly or peer-reviewed articles, you would click this box here. And as you can see, all of the results are for articles in academic journals. That's still about 24,000 results, so you can continue to narrow them down by filtering by source type, publication date, by subject, and by a couple more options here. If you find an article that looks interesting, you can click on the link title, and you will be taken to the article's detailed record page. To access the full article, click on the full text link. You may need to open a separate database, and then click the View PDF button. And the article appears just as it appeared in the print publication. Back on the detailed record page, on the right side of the page, you have more options to manage your research by saving it to Google Drive, adding it to a folder, printing, emailing, saving, citing, and even exporting or creating a note. You do want to remember that this link at the top of the page is not the permanent link to the article. If you copy and paste this and try to send it to someone, it will not work. To get the correct link, you just need to hit this permalink button, and then the permanent link will appear. These tools are very convenient, so I recommend that you use them to keep track of your research. And that is all. Thank you so much for hanging in there through a long presentation. I hope this was helpful. Remember, you can reach me at any time or any other librarian by using these options on the right. If you need help with your essays, please do not hesitate to get in contact with us. Happy researching and good luck in your classes.